I'm Anna Kloots. I'm an author living in Paris, France. I've been living here for 6 years. I moved to Paris because it's my favorite city in the world. I live here with my dog Miette and my fiance. Let me show you around. I wanted to live in Paris my whole life. I used to go to the flea markets when I did my semester abroad here. And so when I finally got my own apartment here, I knew exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be filled with all these old objects that I could find and fill with my own stories mixed with Paris's old stories. So in France, your living room is called your salon. I put the couch here so that you face the view. The squircle couch is the least comfortable couch in the world, but it's pretty. And I put my big antique mirror right here so that it would reflect the beautiful view. But I have all these mirrors and reflective surfaces, and the windows are open so that the room looks and feels a lot bigger than it actually is. This is a copy of my book that I hand bedazzled. Which, while I would not usually have my book on display in my home, I felt like this just had to stay on display permanently. None of the wall molding was here when I moved in, so I decided to add all of it myself. And I think it just adds that old French feeling that I wanted this apartment to have, but I had to re-add a lot of that in. So right along with the mirror, a big, beautiful old antique crystal chandelier was just top in my vision of something that had to be here. And it's one of my favorite things in the whole apartment. Miette needed a dog bed, so I found this antique hat box, and I realized that it was actually the cutest little dog bed ever. If you have to have a dog bed on display in your home all the time, it might as well be cute. I went through 3 tables before I settled on this one, and I finally found the right one. This is an antique from the 70s, and then these chairs are like a mixed match, and this is an antique-inspired design. Every time I would go to the flea markets on the weekend, I would always be on the hunt for old, amazing frames, and usually these can be like 100 or 200 euros, but every once in a while you get really lucky and someone is selling it for like 30 or 40, and that's what I'm always on the hunt for. This is a picture of my late brother-in-law. He was my biggest supporter of move to Paris, Annie, go for it, do it, go be a writer, go for it. And I keep this right here every day just as a reminder to hustle and go for your dreams. This is the reason that I actually rented this apartment in the first place. This is called a balcon filant, and it's almost like a whole exterior living room. This was a must, and finding one that wrapped all the way around was my absolute dream. I can actually take the balcony to get over to the kitchen. This is my Barbie dream kitchen. I had to completely rip the kitchen out of here when I moved in. There was no stove. There was nowhere for dishes or anything like that. And so I put in open shelving because I wanted it to keep very light and airy, and also this was gonna be way more cost effective than putting in whole new cabinets. And this way I could have everything on display. Croissants in the home are must. As is a daily baguette. You have to go get a fresh baguette every morning. It's always about €1.20, €1.30, and it's always gone by the end of the day. Kitchen art, I always struggled with knowing what to put on the wall because I wanted it to be intentional. I wanted it to make sense for a kitchen. And I have the women in my family and their classic recipes. And I was walking on the street in New York City one day and I saw this piece of art in the meatpacking district and I fell in love with it. I put it smack in the middle of the kitchen because my kitchen is for dancing. This is my office and recently walk-in closet. Paris apartments do not come with a lot of closets. This was actually the only closet in the whole apartment. So I have added this bar and I have some clothes now on display. So this is now a cloffice, as they say. But my favorite part of this room is definitely my fireplace, and in French this is called a cheminée. In Paris, kind of the dream of your French charming apartment is parquet cheminée Molière. This is a Louis XV cheminée en marbre blanc, white marble. It came like a Lego set in like 10 pieces in the back of a truck. My fiance very kindly reassembled it for me over the course of a few days, and now I have the cheminée that I always wanted. In Paris, for an unfurnished rental, it comes with absolutely nothing that isn't, bolted to the wall. So you have to bring everything yourself, And that means everything you brought, you take with you. But I wanted that. I wanted to choose my own stuff and have everything in here be a reflection of who I am. This is my Marie Antoinette inspired bedroom. I always wanted this Beauty and the Beast-esque wardrobe that felt like it was gonna spring to life and dress me for dinner. And this Corbier, which means basket bed. It is only 140 centimeters, which is slightly larger than a double bed, but you just get used to everything being a little bit smaller in France. I found these old Venetian side tables that are like these tiny little, totally impractical, they hold nothing. Nightstand, I framed everything in all these gold frames. I ended up framing just a cute little love note from my boyfriend. I have another mirror in here that has old antique vibe, and I really kind of wake up in my little Parisian dream every morning. I feel like good design is not following any rules. So good design is what you look at and it makes you happy. It depends on the actual room and the vibe and what you're looking to create there. It is constantly changing and evolving, which is really what design and life is all about. So come back soon because it might be completely different.
Well, that was so much fun, but the fun doesn't have to end here. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for the best open house has to offer.